Alright, that should do it. Actually, let's bring that closer. Okay, let's get this started. If I can find it. Oh, I need to unmute the game. There we go. That's certainly working. Alright, let's get started. Alright everybody, what's happening everyone? It's your boy Hardcore and we're back today with our brand new character, Miss Francis. The drunken Oni everybody loves. Though, for the most part, we just gotta see how much everybody will love her during the gem release. This is the sort of pre-release look at that you can see her in a live setting. And frankly, she's been interesting to say the least. I've quite liked some of what she does, but she has brought in different kinds of trouble for the most part. So let's take a look at her. We got her fancy little nurse costume too. We've unlocked all our poses too, so let's check her out. That's one thing about Francis is that she has like the real high-pitched voice with that one. Her sound effects are typically not what I would like, but well, we can certainly live with it. Now, for the most part, though, if you haven't heard of already, Francis over here, she's an assist demon. She's got plenty of health to spare, and the attack and critical to really just conquer most objectives for with little trouble. At least when you start playing in like the lower half of stuff. Like once you start getting to VR, she starts to falter a little bit. Most importantly, what I want to go over is this. Her passive is very special to her. It's a good old tipsy and intoxicate. Like when you get to 5 stacks, it's when you get 5 stacks of tipsy when activating it's not demon render, it's Onigoroshi. Yeah. When you activate Onigoroshi 5 times, you get 5 stacks, you'll get intoxicate. When you have Intoxicate on you, it is a massive damage boost. It gives her super armor, and she doesn't play by herself. She plays by herself completely. So let's put some gear on her. We'll do VR later. So we'll take that off of Astaroth. Thank you, Saya. Because this is a character that's like, it's very divisive for me. I don't like a lot of what she does, but she does certain things that I like a lot. So it totally depends on the situation for her. So let's go take her for a test drive. So for the most part, Francis herself is a very slow attacking character. You spend most of your time trying to wait for her skills to come back, and then you activate Onigoroshi. Her fastest skill is going to be, what is it? Demon Render and Raging Shuten. You're going to be using those a lot so you can get your stacks off. The thing is, though, when you get maximum stacks, you can't do anything. You can't control her, you cannot aim her. If something happens to her, she has to take the entire hit. The effect of having her heal off of the, like right now I'm pressing the B button as much as I can to activate my supporter, but you can't do anything like that. So what you're supposed to do with her in the first place is like, this is a sort of, she's the answer to like Emily and Shisui. It's a strange concept, but we'll go on to that. What you do is, in the first place with Emily and Shisui, is that you don't actually play those characters. Nobody does. They're specifically for the arena. You sit there and mess around with them for about, you use them to accomplish tasks like automatically playing the game. Francis is like the semi-automatic version. You just use her skills and like effectively like you use her skills once or twice a wave, and then you'll be out there to clear the wave itself and just be done with it. Like by the time you hit like 5 stacks, it'll probably be time for the boss. We're not going to VR yet. It'll probably be time for the boss, and you can do whatever the hell you want against him. Because then you just have the good old, whatchamacallit, swinging your bat around, and she does a bajillion million damage. It doesn't do that much damage, in fact, unless you have something like specific racials behind you or anything. Like, the fact that she is stuck inside that attack by itself and you can't do anything is like one of my least favorite things about her. It's such a waste. Like, she's pretty, she's cool, but it's like, man, I gotta still play as her in the first place, and that makes it very rough. But how's the rest of y'all doing today? I see you over there, Raptor and Kiss Shot. It's good to see everybody as well. I just wanted to get that out of the way for Francis. But with the semi-automatic thing for Francis is that she the semi-automatic thing is that you have some involvement during the waves, and then when you get into the actual boss fight itself during Intoxicate, it's completely useless. She's going to take much more damage than she can actually recover, and it's kind of terrible. You are better off most of the time like never using that skill. She can't recover worth a shit on side of her blue, so it's like she has like a similar situation to more or less like Aina, where Aina just sits there and like she's really cool in like tower and just general content, but then when you take her to anything hard where criticals are just removed for the most part, she just sits there and does like no damage. Like, you can skill spam and everything like that and to try to take out small mobs, but the damage isn't there. It's a similar situation with Francis. Like, she can tank all day, but I don't want her to tank because she doesn't have any like defensive boosts for this. She's about dealing damage and she doesn't do it very well. Like, I can understand it's like the Tipsy Intoxicate thing is like, it's a very strong early game buff you can constantly apply to yourself and then just like let go until the quest completes. But it's like, then when that's like, she's she's nice for early game players because of the very strong boost that she can bring and her critical boosting weapon being an SR. But the fact that it's just like, all right, when you're pushing like end game on a consistent basis, she brings like nothing to the table. That's just it. She's pretty, but not pretty good. It's like, come on, why do they have to make Francis just like a disappointment in the top end? I like my I like characters with caveats, like learning something that you have to be good with them in the first place. It's like with Tokiko is like probably my least favorite character in the game, but you have to learn how to play Tokiko correctly in order to make her very valuable. And Tokiko is like one of the best debuffers in the game and just hits hard in general. You have to learn how to get better with her in order to make the most out of her. Francis, you don't really learn anything. You just sit there and like wait for your damage to increase until it's like it's over for the most part. It's somewhat disingenuous to like compare her to like an early game situation because like I have a whole bunch of awakening points, and it's like at level 1 she'll just be fine to any content I do, but if I turn all that off and remove it, it makes me wonder what she's going to be like in terms of like fighting other content, because if she doesn't have any like the HP defense and racial boosts that you get from awakening points. What would she actually bring to the table that she can like help as a new player when they want to actually accomplish something like tower or hard dailies or something like that? She just gets hurt too much. It's just like, why do you want to constantly, why did they make a character that constantly hurts themselves in like the most basic of situations? Like, I know the moment that like we go take her to machines or something, she's gonna get kicked in the face because she's stuck in Intoxicate, and it's like at that point she's just gonna die, or she's gonna get caught in something like, a really good example would be well, they do that in general. What's her called? What's her name called? Mass Taimanin. She'll run into Mass Taimanin's tornado or all the mobs or something and just get totally wrecked. But I digress. Let's start the event. If it Intoxicate Kiss Shot over there gave healing on like percent damage dealt, it would be the most broken skill in the game, because you just get 5 stacks and she would just if she constantly attacks during it too, so she's just gonna get back so much health and be effectively invincible. They walk a very fine line. We'll just go look at this again. They walk a very fine line with this because what is it? Tipsy disappears upon activating Intoxicate. Well, you're only going to realistically get 4 stacks because at the 5th one they all disappear. So you'd get a 20% attack boost if you kept Tipsy, and a 30% if you have Intoxicate, both at the same time. That's 50%. She hits pretty damn hard when it's active. So if that would able to be healing during that, if she could heal during that, that would be like the most insane thing in the world. She would be like better than Murasaki in some like survival situations. But I think they were like hesitant to do something like that because it feels like shit to use this effect all the time. But I got my water. Let's go read. Oh, hello, Lydia. Oh, it's so hot during Japan in the summertime. I can use my controller for that. It's quieter. Good old Lydia over here. She's a student from the UFS and was pacing around Gosha complaining about shit. Oh, this package is so heavy. It's far from the station and nobody's here. A weak girl is struggling with her luggage under the hot sun, but nobody cares. It was at that moment Lydia realized something was off. Even if Gosha Village is less populated, there's not very many people around. What's her? Oh, summer vacation? Yeah. So no Fuma? Yes. Well, what about the other task force members? None of them are here. In the waiting room for Gosha Academy, Lydia felt as if she was about to black out. Her mission was to deliver a package to the task force. But, didn't Emily call you? She did, but it was after the summer vacation had started. The lab staff members are all gone, so it'll be hard to use the facility. What about my vacation? Oh, God knows when I had my last vacation. The receptionist made a joke and gave Lydia a pile of documents. What's this? The staff aren't here, and neither is Miss Emily. So I need you to sign these if you want to continue to use the facility. It's Miss Emily's lab, but it's still Gosha property. I have to do the research? As you may know, there's nobody here, and I'm just a receptionist. I might as well have rented a UFS facility if I knew this was going to happen. Lydia slumped her shoulders, recalling the events that have led up to this moment. A few days ago, Lydia was enjoying a long-awaited vacation on Amahara. It was a precious vacation she finally earned after completing her mission. While on vacation with one of her subordinates, she met an old friend and had a chat. But that only lasted 2 hours before she was assigned to another mission. So I should investigate the supply route for the Zacum, right? Zacum. Its scientific name is Night's Magic Herb. It's a demonic plant that thrives in dark magic-rich areas and is harvested in the spring. It is also a rare plant that can be only found in snowy areas in the demon realm and is prohibited due to its poisonous traits. Her mission was to investigate the supply route and the provider as its mutation is on the market. Lydia consulted the mission to Emily with the details she could disclose, and Emily is willing to help her with the mission. In addition, with the cooperation of an informant who she happened to know because of their relationship with the task force, the mission went well. It was good that she could secure the fruit, but in the process, she had to infiltrate the events of a restaurant, become a clerk, or even worse, but that's a story for later. Save it as a .fla there, Lydia, for later. Anyway, when securing the mutated Zacum fruit, the informant who helped her with the investigation in the local area got poisoned by it. Although it was more alcohol than poison, which is a byproduct of the fruit's fermentation. It's just that, although it makes demons a little tipsy, it's excessively addictive, and no one knows how it will affect the human body as long as it is poisonous. Originally, she should have used a UFS facility as it's a UFS mission, but even if she goes back right now and files a document, it would take at least 3 days for the document to be passed, and a few more days for her turn to come. If that's the case, Emily said it would be better to head to Gosha Village, which is only 3 hours away from here, whose facility and staff are within reach. Furthermore, Emily also said Lydia could use the lab. Emily immediately contacted Gosha Village and requested access to a third party, that being Lydia. Emily herself decided to stay in Amahara to take care of the poison informant and prepare an antidote for the mutated Zacum fruit, and Lydia headed to Gosha to thoroughly research the mutated fruits. although she had no clue that all the staff would be away on holiday. Oh, how very unfortunate for Smelly Lydia. So the good old task force is on vacation and you're the only one left in the academy. Oh my. Technically, half of them are on vacation. The rest are on the missions. Well, I know that already. Shouldn't you have reserve staff or something? Oh, my apologies, bitch. We lack the staff. Miss Emily seems to have gotten involved in another issue during her holidays. Ah. As if the Taimanin who brought the problem here Lydia couldn't say anything. In the end, Lydia read documents and wrote down the necessary information, pouting. Slowly, gently, behind Lydia, two shadows approached. They did so silently, and because they were small, they were invisible from the desk. What is this? It smells nice. It must be a fruit. The two shadows whispered and reached out for the package that Lydia brought with her. It was hard to describe it, maybe a fruit that looks splendid and dangerous. The thing she's been carrying so preciously is a mere tree plant. A tree plant? Hey, it's a zacum! Why on earth is she treating it with such care? What are you talking about? Zacums don't have a color like this, although it looks quite similar. Is that right then? This might be a new one. It is possible. And the two snuck 2 or 3 mutated zacum fruits into their pockets. It's a new species. It smells awesome. I think we can make a fortune with these. There are plenty of them in this box. No one will think if we take a few. The two shadows whispered in, put as many mutated zacum fruit in their clothes as they could, and were giggling all the while. By the way, it smells a little strange. Is that okay? You moron, it smells different because it's such a luxurious product. Oh, I see. And they disappeared in silence so Lydia or their receptionist wouldn't notice. Their cloaking skill alone was almost as good as a Taimanin's. Are we done here? Lastly, please let us know with the contact information of whom we could call when we can't reach you due to unexpected events. This is beginning to grind my gears. You should leave out the UFS's higher ups. It's hard to contact them. Then who? Like your family members that we can be reached immediately? Oh, I hate all this Japanese paperwork. Looks like it might take longer for Lydia to realize her package has been reduced. Womp womp, Lydia. There she is. Good old Natsu Nage. Oh, another peaceful day in Gosha. Under the scorching sun, Inage Natsu was tending to a store at Inagaya. Beside her were steaming hot tea and rice crackers served with said tea. Quite an old taste for her young appearance, but it goes well with her atmosphere. It almost felt as if time was went slowly, just watching a beauty with the atmosphere of having someone mastered everything, looking at the students who came to the store to buy some ice cream or some adults passing by. Oh, hello, sweetheart. Miss Natsu, 1 ice cream, please. Sure. The first customer who hadn't come for a while and had brought Inagaya's special ice cream. Nothing's better than ice cream on a hot day. The cold ice cream under the scorching sun healed Taimanin's trained bodies by cooling them down. But, what is it? Do you have heat stroke or something? Weak. When I was young, we didn't have anything like ice cream, but we could work as well as you. Next customers whose eyes were red and catching their breaths managed to buy the ice cream and left. Go see a doctor when you've cooled down. Huh. Kids these days are too weak. Then a faint, sweet scent spread into the store. Maybe it was the customer who just left. Yeah, you got it there, Kira. You're getting it on with her, and then she just brings it back. Because it's like she goes from breaking your hips to you're breaking hers at that point. She is crazy. Is it perfume? Wearing perfume when you work outside? What is he thinking? Time in his life depends on stealth. Natsu laments as if youngers these days are not taught such basics. She then thinks it could be time has changed and tries to dwell on her memories. But at that moment... ice. You don't make a scene at my store searching for ice cream even if it's hot. If you don't have money, then you should at least ask first. Next customer rushed in the store and attacked Natsu as he was. His eyes were red and he was drooling. He looked insane. The change seemed to be so violent that he went insane from the summer heat. But he did seem like he was looking for something cold since he was screaming ice. Oh, my. Natsu sucked the pipe in her hand and exhaled the fumes. Simple as that, but the fume moved in the air as if it had free will, and covered the face of the insane customer who was just a few steps away. The insane customer tried to attack Natsu, ignoring the fume, but even if he's on a rampage, all living things should breathe. As he inhaled the fume through his nose, he fell onto the floor head first, with the same momentum as he rushed into. He fell so hard that his nose broke. Yes, good job there, Inage. You managed to make a man fall down and shove his nose bone into his brain. Smart move. I can still protect myself even if some amateurs suddenly attack me. My god, how poor do you have to be to steal from my store? What, anything you gotta say? Ice. Good. Leaving the words, the man passed out. Natsu lifted one of the man's legs and dragged him to the entrance of the store so that the blood from his nose wouldn't make her store dirty. Whew, a rampant in my store. I guess my ice cream became too good to make people criminals. Natsu came out to the hot sun making a joke to throw out the insane man. And at that moment, looking around, people who look bad, so bad it can be described any other way that they look like zombies. They're walking slowly around the entire village. Is old Francis worth getting if you're just doing normal shit and don't touch the hard stuff? Yeah, that's the long and the short of it. If you want to take her to hard stuff, you don't play the actual mechanic she's based off of. But even then, you're just better off using somebody else. She deals too little damage for hard content and does too much for lower end content. So you're just better off like if you're like a high end player, you're not going to get a whole lot out of her. So just, you could probably miss her. If Inage gets in or something like that, or like Spica does for like the final, for like the anniversary, I would hope that they spent the time to actually make them work pretty well. Because Tokiko was like anniversary 1, and she's difficult, but she's very strong. Let's finish this though. Some of them were Taimanin, so it was obvious at first glance that it was pretty serious. I've been trying to open the store no matter what happens. Natsu spoke to herself without changing her facial expression upon seeing the zombies. She closed the door to the store, turned the open sign to close, and decided to clean up the zombie-like people. They make Francis very expressive, which I like a lot. Yeah, like, this is the sort of shit that kind of annoys me also. It's like, Francis's, like, immediate strength is, she's very strong, but it's like, it's kind of wasted on, like, these small missions. I wish her, like, her normal string was armored, too. Oh, dude, it's a mud golem. What's up, dude? It looks quite serious. Natsu said under her breath after taking care of the zombies swarming Inagea. At the end of her look... What? At the end of her look? What is it? Okay. Were more zombies crawling out of the shadow of a building. It seemed that they appeared upon hearing the sound of her fighting. My goodness, I don't think I can fight off this many zombies on my own. It's like a zombie apocalypse here, but any countermeasurement hasn't been done yet. She wonders if they don't know or if they are absent. How come they are not here in such a situation? Oh, shame on them. If she remembers correctly, this academy must be on vacation from today. Besides, most of the Taimanins are out of Gosha for training or on missions abroad. I don't think we have any choice but to fight them off for a while. Then Natsu stretched her neck and walked towards the zombies. At the end of her head turned glancing. I think that's kind of a translation thing because it's like it's like such weird syntax. I'm just like, now I should be reiterating myself on that one because I think every event I've read at this point, like there's always at some point they have like a weird syntax thing. Like, it's a turn of phrase, that's it, and it doesn't make sense. Ooh, finally. Meanwhile, Lydia out here is finished out filling the form. Nope. Alright, she's back at the school. Alright, it wasn't like this before. It wasn't like this before. She felt the luggage she lifted was lighter than before, but... she couldn't care about it when she came out of the building, because under the hot sun, lots of people were wandering like zombies. Oh, look, it really is a high school of the dead, if I had to say so myself. What made it worse is that the fully armed Taimanins were among them. So Lydia was just standing there without being able to figure out what was going on. No, I don't have any intentions on playing Zenless Zone Zero. That's a game I don't want to bother touching. I know it plays like Senran Kagura for the most part, but it's just like I can't do it. I just can't. I don't want to play a Hoyoverse game. I don't want to do anything like that. What the hell? What the hell am I seeing? It's not Halloween, not yet at least. It's the bravery test of Japan. While she was talking nonsense, zombies swarmed to her, noticing her existence. Oh no. It's not that Lydia can't watch horror movies or TV shows, but she was terrified that the zombie-looking people were walking towards her. Their eyes were empty, they were drooling, and her powerless arms were trying to hold her. Lydia instinctively felt disgusted by them and kicked one of the zombies. Oh man, ingrown hair back there, ouch. Oh, I didn't mean that, I'm sorry. Lydia apologized reactively, but the zombies don't seem to care. The zombie fell to the ground and tried to stand right away, but it couldn't. Then it crawled towards Lydia. To be honest, it was pretty disgusting. What are you crawling towards me for? Stop, please. Shortly after, someone was screaming behind Lydia. It was said to the receptionist, who asked Lydia to fill out the forms. Are you okay? Lydia put down the luggage on the ground without knowing what was happening and ran from which the scream was heard. Help me, please. By the time Lydia arrived, she was already being attacked. Lydia tried to kick them away, but they were slow. They were still Taimanin, so they're pretty strong. Heavy and thick. She can't do it. Do they not feel the pain? If I kick them harder, I might hurt them. They were acting like zombies, but their outfits were Taimanins. A soft touch, but it can be okay, but if she hurts them badly, it can be a problem. Knowing she can't do her best, she pulled on the clothes to get the zombies off of them. Ah, there's more? More zombies gather while she tries to pry them off. She could see dozens of zombies swarming the building's entrance. Ah, damn it, I can't hold them much longer. She too was trapped. Deciding it was better to save him later, Lydia retreats. Careful not to hurt the swarm of zombies too much, she escapes the building. The gambling isn't so much a problem to me, because I play other gacha stuff, and I'm like, I don't much care for the setting, or the what is it, the Hoyoverse, the gambling situation for it is not one of my favorites, or one that I can tolerate very much. I don't like the setting. The characters don't really do anything for me. It's like an overall experience I'm not too concerned with. And then the fact I learned that it's a gacha game that's going to be 100-something gigabytes, I'm like, I'm not going to bother with that. And more or less, it's an inevitability for those like higher scale games like that, but like, I don't want to bother. I get my fun with Limbus Company. That's a game I like much more than whatever the Hoyoverse is doing. Oh my god, what is this? Lydia said as she ran out of the academy building. When she looked back, she saw a swarm of zombies, but they were coming for her. Oh, it's a creepy place out here. Whatever the case, Lydia continued to run, maintaining a certain distance, afraid of the actions of this person. She's been running without rest, but the zombies continue to follow her. She didn't like the fact that they didn't tire, but also that they only pursued a single target. Whoa! Look at that, her butt meets her boobs. Amazing. I mean, I can, Kiera, you can play all your Hoyoverse games you want, but it ain't for me. We will never be, most likely will, unless the Hoyoverse really picks up and gets something that really gets my attention, I am not going to be touching any of their products. I just can't do it. That's way too of a high investment type of game, and it's a game that I don't want to invest in. It's just it. Fiscally or mechanically, they don't do anything that I want. After 10 minutes of running, Natsu suddenly appeared from the other end of the alley. Surprised, Lydia instinctively threw a kick. The kick would have knocked out a zombie was blocked with two fingers, an index in the middle. What were you kicking for? Kicking me straight in the face, bitch? Ah, girls nowadays are so violent. A human? Oh, thank goodness. I think you're the weird one, kicking me as soon as you see me. Who are you? I ain't seen you around before. It's a face even Natsu, who's been in Gosha village for ages, has not seen before. As she thinks Lydia might be an outsider, she goes and looks around, panicking. When she realizes there aren't any zombies, she put her guard down. I'm from the UFS. I had business in Gosha. A UFS person in Gosha? Oh, it's an urgent matter. It was only then when Lydia realized she felt light. Or rather, she no longer had all the luggage she carried when she came into Gosha. Huh? Went over to say the receptionist. Did I leave them all there? What's with you now? First you greet me with a high kick, now you're screaming all of a sudden? Aw, kids these days just don't know how to calm down. Natsu, I like you. I liked you before, but now you're just like old crotchety bitch, and this is getting fun. No, it's that. Before Lydia can finish explaining, she saw a zombie, which Natsu also saw. Again? Looks like we might be the only ones who are sane and unharmed in the village. Lies. It's just a feeling. Just how about it, UFS girl? You gonna help? Oh, look at that. The dynamic duo are teaming up. It's like Contra. It only took seconds for Lydia to answer. When they stood still, the zombies were closing in on her. Oh, of course. I need to return in one of those things. I'm Inage Natsu. Lydia Beretta. I see. Nice to meet you, Lydia. Let's see what we're dealing with someplace else, shall we? And let's do just that. The two who had just met stood with their backs against each other and faced the oncoming zombies as if they had been partners for 10 years. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the shit. Back to back. Impossible odds. Though typically it's like, I don't know. More or less, I just didn't, when I played Genshin, like when it first came out, I was like, I don't understand what's going on, and there's nothing that's really like grabbing me immediately. It just makes me wonder what made it become such a runaway success. There's got to be something there. I certainly didn't see it though. Whoa, bro. They're like multiplying like crazy. Oh, it looks like all the villagers in Gosha have turned. Lydia and Natsu are both up at a building rooftop and observing them. Only they didn't move like a typical zombie. They're warm and their hearts are even beating when I hit them. They are also breathing. I think it's safe to say they've been poisoned with something and not actual zombies. Same way. They might be more a person enhanced by the overuse of drugs. They were alive and enhanced. At the same time, seeing them act indistinctively with no conscience definitely looks like they've been drugged, not zombies. But how did the Taimanins also get affected? Did they have been poisoned with something more potent and they could not withstand? Somebody would have noticed it if it was that potent. Plus, it was effective. Plus, if it was okay, that's like. Plus, if it was widely effective, then there would be a few places it could be used. Oh wow. Lydia and Natsu are getting a headache from the poison, or the source of the curse. If only they knew, they would be able to get information from investigating. However, we cannot do anything unless we know if it's a poison or a curse. You're right. Underneath them, there were zombies reaching for him. It looked clumsy, but Natsu was worried, knowing who each and every one of them were. At that very moment, perhaps it's from all the zombies moving around in the sun, they could smell the sweat from them. It was so sweet. Sweet that it was suffocating. Now what is that? Smell. Come to think of it, there was a sweet smell when they entered the building. Sweet can't be. At that moment, what came to Lydia's mind was the mutated Zacum fruit. When it's a fruit, it doesn't smell that strong, but it did smell sweet like this. Could it be the Zacum fruit itself? What? A Zacum? A plant only grows in the cold regions of the demon realm. Yeah, I brought a mutated version of it with me, dude. I was going to borrow Emily's lab to do a test on it since there are people getting addicted to it. Were you going to make an antidote? Yes, but how did this happen? I just came to Gosha village 2 hours ago. Why did it spread throughout the village? The who? It doesn't matter who did it. If that's the case, we gotta get him first. Because if we don't know what it's made of, we can't make an antidote. That's right. Where is this mutated Zacum fruit? Did you use it all? No, it was before I began investigating. Oh, I left it at the entrance to Gosha Academy. Well, let's hope the zombies didn't eat it. Oh, anyway, we have to get back to him. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, say it's still there. She prays to a god she doesn't even believe in and runs to the rooftop at full speed. That's very specific for Lydia. Thanks for confirming that Lydia is an atheist. Yeah, it's I saw footage and when I watched footage of Wuwa, I know it's made for the people who made Punishing Gray Raven, but it doesn't play like Punishing Gray Raven or has the same sort of engagement for me that it does, and it was very disappointing. I'll say that much. It's like, I love Punishing Gray Raven. It's very, very fun. But Wuwa just wants to be Genshin because Kuro Game needs to make money at the end of the day. So they just copied Genshin and it plays a little faster. It's kind of sad. I really wish they didn't copy Genshin. Oh, they're feeding the animals too. Is that the cause of all this? Looks like a drink. Who's making this stuff? We'd know if we look into it, but they're proper beasts. They notice the camouflage. Wow, they're very energized. They are. Huh, I'll give you something delicious too. Oh, we refuse that. I like meat more than fruit. Let's get him, Francis. These are new enemy models. I mean, they're recolors, but it's like this is the first time we've ever seen these color schemes in the game. Holy shit.
Don't let him into the building.
While Lydia and Natsu are neutralizing the zombies, a voice comes from within the building. When they look, they saw Taimanin barricading the gates of Gosha. There's still people who are alright? They must have been using the academy as the base. This is the most sturdy place out of all the places. I'll get the luggage that you brought. But the luggage was dropped at the entrance where the barricade was set up. I gotta go through that? We don't know what will happen if we get bitten. We have no choice. I'll bait them so you can go get it and enter the building. Will you be alright? Shaking them off once will be good for the guys guarding the barricade too.
Her tits explode.
Natsu then runs into the crowd of zombies gathered at the entrance of the academy. She charges at them low and jumps. In seconds, dozens of zombies are flailing about. Without breaking any of their bones and causing serious injuries. That has... Oh, it's 2, not 2. Okay. Lydia can also see the skill gap. But the zombies, realizing the existence of a live sort of food, they moved. It'll be just like that. It'll be just as if they weren't scared of anything. Even for Natsu, fighting against zombies coming from all directions would have been overwhelming for her. Get it now, bitch! But she evades their oncoming attacks, fights back, and draws their attention away from the barricade and to her. Lydia goes for the luggage she dropped as she was commanded. After checking that it was safe to do so, however, it's gone. They ate it all. Then go in the building. I'm going to be right here, okay? She just fades away. Oh no. Oh, I forget they're ninjas. I forget the Taimanins are actually like ninjas sometimes. We never get to see the male Taimanin suits because they're always so cool looking. Like, I look like Ryu. Like, this guy's obviously supposed to be like good old Ryu Hayabusa. Now that's a guy right there. Could this be checked? There's some on the box, but I don't think we get any results from this. Lydia apologetically hands the empty box to the Taiman at the barricade, and Natsu swipes the box with her finger. I sense weird strength in this. It's the juice of the Zakum. This was a mutation so that it could be thicker than the original. I see. That could be why. This fruit is much more potent than the ones I know. I've never heard of a Zakum that makes people like this, though. It's supposedly got some addictive properties, but still. This was enough for Taimanins to react. Turning them into zombies, however, was a first. I brought it to do research on, but I guess it was unimaginably potent. Meaning the cause of all this is... I know it's my fault, but I'll clear it up. I'll pay for the consequences. Taiman looks at Natsu, and Natsu's lived here forever. She's the eldest in the village, so to speak. I believe her. She's also the only one who knows what the Zakum looks like. We need the knowledge of one who saw it to find it. Find what? Lydia only brought it here. That means there's a person who stole it and gave it out to everybody. Could there be a fruit here? If not, then we're out of luck. Natsu walks to the back door. Lydia and I are going to go look for the fruit. You guys do your best to protect the school. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's like the same gameplay element with no reactions and clumsy boss fights with way too much going on. Play it for a month and get sick of it quick. You want to play it in a game like Wukong or something. For the most part, it's like that's the same problem that most people have with Taimanins as well. The progress is way too slow. You will effectively need to play for like multiple weeks just to get somewhere. Well, if you're a new player, you'll be playing for multiple weeks and making pretty poor decisions at the very beginning just to get started. It's the same with any of these other ones, really. But at least like the Souls game, even the Souls games get samey after a while. It's like they have a pool of about 10 attacks that they can do. You learn the tell, and then it's off to the races from there. Like after you beat it like by yourself at that point, and like you beat one, you pretty much beat all of them. They're just effectively NES games, but given a very high quality coat of paint and more things to do all at once. The simplicity and variability of it is what makes it so addictive. Like I just can't get. It's like they keep making the gameplay so shallow in these games, except for like when I go play something like Punishing Grey Raven, where they actually have stuff you have to really pay attention to, and a lot of cool stuff you can pull off. It really gets to me. Limbus does the same thing too. You have to consider a lot when actually playing the game itself, and it's very satisfying because every fight is essentially like a puzzle you have to solve. There are brute force situations, but like when I like solving the puzzle to become the most efficient is like one of my favorite things in a game. Like when I play this, learning how to play like Francis is like, and try to be efficient with her to the best of your strength and ability is like one of the best things I like about this game. Each new girl is like a new thing to learn, and it keeps it fresh for me. That's why I have all the characters. That's what I like about this so much. You do the same thing in like Punishing Grey Raven as well. Everybody plays mostly pretty differently, so you have to learn something new every time, and it's creates a new game. Puzzle games are something that like I've only gotten I've learned to appreciate as time has went on. Like one of my other favorite games is there's Catherine. Catherine's a puzzle game where you have to like get blocks and then climb up the stuff. Intelligent Cube is another game I like a lot. That's a game on the PS1 where you have to like, it's a puzzle solving blocks game. Then there's stuff like, I don't know. The puzzles that games provide sometimes, I like making them either the most efficient thing or try to do it in unorthodox ways. Like in Limbus Company, when you get down into like the mirror mines or into the basements of like corporations or something, you have to play like, you fight like enemies and you have like obviously resistances and stuff like that, but you have to solve them for the most part. To like, there's luck, and then there's also the problem solving aspect about it, which I really like a lot. It's not exactly like the most action-packed game, and it can like have ways to solve it itself for you, but I like solving it a lot. It feels good. I understand, maybe like at some point, like I know that I'm the type of person, if I really sat down with it, I could probably get into like Factorio or something, which would be like an honestly insane thing to do in the first place. That's another like optimization game. That's an optimization game for sure. And puzzle solving too. Alright, let's continue. Alright, this will be the safest place for us to hide out. Lydia puts the box down and looks around. Not only are there snacks and old toys, but also tools Taimanins could use, like in a hardware store. Oh, she had general goods. Like a child in a store, the last thing she put down was a plastic cup the Berserk Taimanin had when he escaped Gosha Academy. It seems like someone was really spreading the Zachem all over the village. Probably, they are making them drink the juice extracted from the fruit. Even the regular fruit of it has a strong addictive property, so fermenting a mutation of it would have an even more potent effect. It's potent enough to turn one into a zombie. Lydia inputs the info on a mobile device and sends it to her. Looks like they were already have an antidote, so the infant Furfur was already recovering. Good news! There's an antidote. If we can just open Emily's lab, we can also make one. I see. Then all we have to do is take down the Sorths. The Thorth. If there's an info of an antidote, we don't even need to acquire the fruit. Natsu and Lydia changed their objective and decided to look for the cause of this mess to teach them a thorough lesson. But just then, oh, help us. There's got to be a house that's unlocked somewhere. Help us. The two noticed a commotion outside. Natsu, hearing a familiar voice, let out a sigh. Those who are not sane will be attracted to the sound. They don't even realize it. Natsu signals to Lydia with her eyes and then opens the door of the store. This way, you brats. Oh, it's Minasaki and Lilim. Natsu? That's Miss Natsu to you, bitch. I'll kick your ass out of there and get eaten alive. Inagaya sees. The both of them ran to Inagaya as soon as they saw Natsu's face. However, countless zombies and ninja beasts were following them. Oh, they're coming. They talked before like that. Are they getting used to the status? Maybe it's because they only drank a little bit, not that it matters now. Natsu and Lydia closed the door and let them in. That many zombies would destroy the shop if they came into it. They're reacting to noise. So we're going to be quick and silent? That's the problem. Oh, they're efficient to sound. I like that the street is just wide enough for like grenade to hit. perfectly. That means this mission is not going to be able to get the 30 hit challenge done with her. I'm very impressed that Onigoroshi actually did over 1 million damage. I don't know if that was the particle from Grenade or Onigoroshi, because it's like, I think I hit the proc. That's fucking nuts, though. I wish it actually did that much damage normally. Why are you two on the run, then? While Lydia was reinforcing the doors, Lilim and Minasaki were sitting up. We don't know. We were just playing around, but then they came. Both of them were avoiding Natsu's eyes, which is pretty sus, I gotta say the least. Strange. Demons in Gosha? The Fuma kid did some good, but that's another story. They'd been roaming around for hours. It was lucky for you two weaklings to run away from them. Ugh. We just flew up in the sky and, just as Minasaki was explaining the situation with her arms wailing, a flyer dropped out from her sleeves. Natsu picks it up. Look, let me see that. The best fruit juice, 500 yen apiece? I mean it, it's cheap. What is this? With a cute fruit drawn on it, the flyer was written with words. The problem was the drawing. It was a deep purple, looking nothing like something delicious. No such advertising aspects. Above all, remembers to resemble the fruit. This drawing looks like the fruit, doesn't it? Yeah, why? Well, it's because these two are in big trouble because Big Sis Inagaya is dangerous. She's more bad news than the boss. The next moment, Lil and Minasaki ran outside, breaking the window. What's wrong? They are one of the worst brats in Gosha. The fact that they know how the fruit looks means that they stole it and sold it. Only for 500 yen. Sorry, it was actually 1,000 yen. A lot of people bought it at that price. I don't care about the price. There are things you can sell and things you can't. You can't sell something identified, let alone being stolen. Natsu ran out the window Lil and Minasaki broke. While shouting, Lydia was still processing the situation, but ran after him. Oh, so I was robbed by kids? Oh man. Her pride as an agent was deeply wounded. A way to go there, Lydia. Looks like we're gonna settle this then. We're gonna face off against two small children. That are the specialty boss. Lil and Minasaki were both making flyers next to mutated fruits they stole from Lydia. The best fruit juice you ever had, 500 yen apiece, cheap, and I mean it. They drew a drawing of a fruit and put it on there. Is 500 too expensive? Well, it's the most luxurious fruit, so it'll be alright. They didn't care about the price. They were just aiming for a small pocket money if they sold it all. After finishing off the flyers, they started selling this fruit in Gosha. The sun was hot and they opened up their business under a roof of an empty house. Lil and Minasaki, no Mr. Fuma today, okay? Yeah, boss was like summer vacation and went somewhere else. I see, he's still a student, so it's fitting for him to be excited. Taimanin looked at the flyer. Luxurious fruit? Oh, where'd you get it? It fell off the back of a truck, that's what happened. Taimanin noticed something while Lil and Minasaki were both stuttering. You stole from Fuma's stash again. You might get in trouble if you keep doing things like that. That's right. Well, look the other way this time. Give me one. Luckily, the Taimanin was thirsty under the sun. He brought the juice because he needed something to drink. That's 500 yen. Okay. He didn't look at its substance and left after drinking it in a plastic cup. After that, many people came to cool off from the heat. The juice was being sold like crazy. The mutated fruit was able to make dozens of fruit juices with only one fruit. In the end, quite a lot of money was at their disposal after selling them all. Oh, I wonder how many ice creams we can buy with this. What? What's the matter? Didn't the last guy seem weird to you? Weird how? His eyes went blank when drinking it. Maybe it's that delicious. You know how it is to have a cup of juice in a weather like today? There was another thing that Lillian was concerned about. I feel like there are more and more customers, which is great for business. And I think their eyes are off. They're coming after us. Now, that's a problem. Take the money, everybody. Let's run. Stop right there, criminal scum. I'll spank you until your butt cheeks are red. Oh no, Grandma, don't spank me like that. No way, bro. Not spanking from Big Sis. I won't be able to sit down for a week. We have to run. How? We'll be caught in an instant. I have a plan. Over here, help. What are you doing? Making big noise so that the people take their attention to us. We use them as a distraction. That's great. You're so smart. Fire. Somebody's being killed. They're being raped even. Oh my god. Those brats are planning to gather the zombies. Those two were the real culprits after all. Oh my god. I cannot believe it. The children. The children. These dastardly little bastards. Sploosh. Now let's finish the job. Step right up, line up, everybody. Come on. While Lydia was getting the crowd in control, the Taimanins injected the tied-up zombies with said antidote. They soon came back to their normal selves. Oh, my head hurts. I'm about to barb. Sorry, it's all because of me. To be fair, it wasn't your fault that you came here to request an analysis. The security was loose. Oh, thank you for your kind words. The summer sun was still shining brightly, even after Lydia gave the antidote to all the people who drank it. Oh, it's hot. I brought all this to Gosha, and they said they're going to send more fruits for analysis. I guess I'm staying here. She felt sorry for bringing the cause of all this trouble. Everyone knew she stood up to the zombies and put an end to it by injecting antidotes. She failed her mission, but it wasn't on purpose. Some say that Gosha had a part in today's incident. Everything would have gone well if Lilma Minasaki hadn't caused it all. This is the time they stepped over the line. That's why Lydia wasn't the only one to blame. Hence, she was allowed to stay in the village. I need to let out some steam. We are on the steam platform. Hey there, Jeff. How you been? We're finishing up the story, and we're gonna go clear out some shit with Francis. A big splash and then silence. After a couple of seconds, another splash echoed in the swimming pool. There we go. Oh, that's better. That's better for sure. The sea back at Amahara was wide and crowded, but I like this a lot better. Besides, I'm alone. I feel like I rented the whole pool. Kind of feels pretty good. Lydia swam 50 meters first, and her breathing was stable. You're good at swimming. Oh, Natsu. When Lydia came out of the pool, Natsu was waiting for her. I'm sorry for all this mess. I brought it to the whole village. Oh, my Yuri content. It's like, oh, foxy grandma, seduced by the younger woman. Oh, goodness. I love it. Both bratties got themselves a correction. And they needed it, too. They turned the whole village into Dead Rising. A lesson for young Taimanins not to trust everything that's sold within the village. Natsu handed out a bowl of shaved ice. Can I? Like I said, don't worry about it. Oh, and that's a luxurious tropical fruit here on top. Luxurious? Ha 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 ha. Lydia's lips flinched at the word and Natsu laughed. Relax, there's no poison or strange addictive taste to it. That's right, it's only got fentanyl in it, so don't worry. Tastes pretty good and feels even better. Come on. Oh, it's delicious, sweet and cold. Lydia quickly ate half of the sweet, cold shaved ice and then crouched her head. Oh, brain freeze, bro. That's because you ate it too fast. I know, but it's worth it. She waited until the headache went away and finished it off. It was fun. I think it goes in the top 5 exciting things that had happened for me while running in Inagaya. Oh, so things like this happen a couple more times? That's right, a couple of times more. That's why you don't have to care about it. Oh, I see. She noticed that Natsu was cheering her up. She couldn't let Lydia feel depressed. Thanks. Oh, no need to thank me. I've had a lot of fun today. Natsu laughed loudly, and so did Lydia. Meanwhile... Oh, that's great. Lil and Minasaki were hanging from the gate of Gosha Academy. Oh, it's so hot. Thirsty. I want some shaved ice. The culprits of the incident whined. A refreshing sound that came from the wind chime that Natsu prepared for them. Summer continues, and it was only going to get hotter in Gosha. That was nice. I think it's next week starts the next series of events. So it was like it's August Summer Part 2. So that means we're gonna get the Lena swimsuit reward for the next event. At least I think that's what's supposed to happen. Of course, the missions are so exciting. You got Foxy Grandma over there knowing how to... Where she has like the same ability that like, what is it, Tsunade has, where they have like life force manipulation or something, or like healing or whatever or what have you. So they're like insanely like they look beautiful even though they're like 67 years old or something, and not a total bag of bones. I mean, Inage does have her grandma form, which would be actually be pretty nice to actually see her transform once in a while. That's something I would like to see, Gremory. We got Master Yoda. Oh god, oh. I forgot about that. We got the brown Oni. We got the blue Oni. I forget. I think the rock Taimanin guys, they are classified as human enemies. I do actually have the supporter, so we can actually go read about it later. That is like Francis and Inage are characters like I would wholeheartedly appreciate that they are. If Inage gets in the game, I will be like ecstatic about that. That's like amazing. I just wish Francis was a little better. Though I think I also managed to figure out, for the last couple of months, I've been having problems with this game. Like for some reason, like it just has a sudden dip in frames every once in a while. So like the last couple of times I've been playing this, I've been trying to keep track of like when did those things happen, and I figured out like, oh, it only does that when the game has to parse information from something. So it's like I will like when the disk drive has to spin up. Oh my god, stop! When the disk drive has to spin up, it causes a drop in frames because it's reading information. So all I do is just like put it on the SSD, and it does a lot more consistently. So I'm glad. I was getting pretty tired of all that happening. How you doing there, King Draven? You got yourself, Francis? More or less, you think about picking up Francis in the first place. She's interesting, to say the least. I mean, more power to you if you actually sit down and get her. She's a character who has like such huge AoEs on all her attacks. And it's like, I would like to use her to just do dailies with. It just feels better to do just like... She's not going to hit... I know she's not going to hit 30 combos unless I use somebody else. To get somebody fun. Sora, my girl. We need you to do like a minimal damage. So... I know. That's perfect. Oh, it just keeps replaying it again. Okay. Let's go get him, Sora. How do you like floor 100? Floor 100 of tower or floor 100 for VR? Because this week is because this week for VR it's a Queen Kanaloa, which is actually, everybody complains about how bad she is, like in order to fight in the first place. She's honestly like one of the more she's like machines, which are simultaneously easy but super annoying. Francis is like is a very, very beautiful character. I'm glad she looks as good as she actually does. They didn't make her ugly. They made her. They pulled out all the stops for her in terms of looks, that's good because they put the high gloss effect on her clothes by default. It's great. I like it a lot. That's something I really appreciate. Her costumes are top notch. I especially like, I use Naughty Nurse Francis all the time because it's like my favorite. And then we have the Secret Garden one's really cool too. I remember when that the costume thing first released, I was taking a look at it, and I was wondering like, what are they gonna do for that? It's like she doesn't look like that. She doesn't do anything with that stuff at all. And I was like trying to like pull together like, okay, what parts are they gonna uncensor or not? Like, I was totally wrong, and I was glad. Shit, I dropped the combo. God damn it. Just shoot the car. Should've done that in the first place. As always, whenever I get a new character, I have cautious optimism towards them, because I've certainly been disappointed before. I know it can happen again. Like, she's just really good at the early game, and you can obviously do tower clears with her, no problem. Oh yeah, she's just pure brute strength. She just doesn't focus her strength very well in the first place. So it makes sense, it's like, you know, anything that's like requires a bit more technical prowess behind her, like having to do like specific dodging requirements or like making the most out of her attacks to be like super effective. Nah, it's just hit harder with her. It's hit harder and hit faster.
No, don't drop the combo, please.
Don't drop the combo, Sora. All we have to do is just do it so we don't have to do this stage twice. Astaroth is more or less like the same way too. She's pure force. Francis is, Astaroth is like crazy strong. Did you know it's also been 2 years since Sora has been released, and she has not gotten a single costume? It's very unfortunate for this small girl. It's like the 2-year anniversary of her release, because I think she released right after Rin, and that was a very hard act to follow. Oh, god damn it. Slow spawns. I don't care that it's under attack, we'll be fine. The hardest part of these missions is just going slow enough to like to get just enough hits. Splat. Though more or less it's like, Onis certainly do respect strength. So whenever they face something that beats them and is stronger than them, well, I think we all know how that turns out for them. Alright, I need to weaken her a little bit. I don't want her to crit. Take that, Lilum. That's some correction. You did exactly. You get what you deserve. What are you laughing about, you little bitch? Oh, nice. Oh, I got it on the tail end of invincibility. Perfect. Get out of here, baby. No! Get away from me, Lilum! Get away! You nasty, nasty woman. Oh cool, Grandma's already maxed out. Good. Alright, let's go and do the bonus mission. Because I already know what the bonus mission requirements are. They're, well, at least I know what the stage 3 bonus is. It's gonna have that... Well, we'll just get there. We'll just show off what it is. Let's see. Take that off of Kiara. We'll use Sora for this one. She doesn't ever get enough love in the first place. We'll end that one with Francis. Let's see. Got banned Shiganji Kurenini. Where is it? Oh my Lanta, where did it go? Boy, that would be really nice if I could use Sakuya and them together. Where is she? She's before this. Or is she? Yeah, but she's right there.
私の出番。シューターの準備はバッチリよ。どんな戦い方をしようかな。
Let's go get him, Sora. Let's go kick some ass.
金月空、参ります。
Oh my god, that's amazing. To walk up to one of those like wooden dummy robots and actually like walk through their entire barrage, that's nuts. Because it's almost always you get like shot by one of those and they do like so much damage. Because they fire like, what is it, like 7 projectiles at once? But they all spawn in from the same location, so you can get like shotgun blasted by them. It's honestly really scary. Perfect. He did not even get up. Oh my god, there's more. I just love how agile she is. You can play like hit and run games all the time with her. She just feels she's such a like good character that and like nobody cares about her. Well, that's a good sound effect. That's totally not annoying at all. Incredible. That felt good. Yeah, that was really clean for the most part, and I liked it. I wish people were more appreciative of Sora. She's such a fun character to use. Even with her shortcomings of like that dodge, and also she's like strictly ranged. She's just so much fun to use. Make a guide for clearing VR 100. I mean, it's the same sort of thing you'd use for like VR. You build for racials, and you have to be you have to be one, aggressive, and also not aggressive, because you're being constantly chased by 3 enemies, and they'll do like a 20% of your health on hit, that or just half. So it's incredibly devastating to do anything against them. Let's try Tokiko. We've been talking smack about Miss Tokiko, but we'll just show off what she can do. Good, she's still got the same gear that I equipped her with earlier. It's Natsu doesn't actually do much for them because they are debuffed. Let's see, Stone Piercer, Clairvoyance. Do I want that? No. There it is. I want this for the proc. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay. There's something I want to show off with this. There's really cool Tokiko tech with mechanical dart knife you can do. Mechanical dart knife, you give an enemy a debuff that lasts for 10 seconds, but it's a 40% defense down. Honestly, kind of crazy to think about. Like, it's legitimately one of the most insane setups you can do. Because, man, Tokiko's, like, really good at just, like, deleting defense properties on enemies. I just hate how she looks. Because if there's anything Tokiko knows how to do, it is keep the pressure. There it is. He's got the defense buff, which is like a 75% boost to his defense in the first place. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same one as Black's. But thankfully, good old Miss Tokiko knows how to absolutely just pile on the defense down, and even then he's still not taking any damage. This is exactly what I was afraid of too. Good. It hit the high roll on the crit. Now I don't have anything to worry about. So yeah, if you're having any trouble with good old Mr. Rock Taimanin over there, don't worry about it. Just bring Tokiko and stack as many defense downs as possible. You know, it takes a pretty high IQ to play Tokiko. I mean, she's a pretty crap character. But if you have the brain power to really push her to the limit, she can really know how to satisfy you pretty valuably. Perfect. She still took a lot of damage, but it's like, that's just what Tokiko does. That's what the whole clairvoyance buff is for anyways. So she can actually... This is perfect. This is the perfect moment. Because Tokiko's buff that she can apply to herself gives her super armor and defense. Okay, that's great. Because you know who deserves that? That's Francis. Francis deserves to have... That's just it. Why didn't she have a defense buff during Intoxicate? It's like, why does she have anything like that? Because it would make so much sense for her to have it. Because she's smacking the crap out of people, and she's taking so much damage. But that's it. If you play very well with Tokiko, you can be rewarded very well. Now we're going to go use Francis to go clear the final mission. And we already got the defense down proc to happen, and that's going to be absolutely horrible. I don't remember what that thing is called. Let's go to collections. Because if we go to the monster bestiary, he's a human. You never been so right there, Jeff. Tokiko has like with her clairvoyance buff, she wants to be in the fray all the time, yet you need to stack defense and so much health to actually do that. And Tokiko does not have that. Like in VR, like she can solve her HP problems, but in like regular stuff, like when she's alone, she can't really do that. It hurts to play Tokiko in like hard situations. Like you have to gamble and win a lot. That's the thing with her. And I don't know if I can do that. Before that happens, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Oh yeah, let's go. Ingrid herself is going to be getting a, what's it called? A new battle, a new thing for VR. Which, by the way, this is 2 VR editions this year. Let's keep it up, Grammary. Let's keep it the fuck up. I want more things to fight. That's great. That's really good. Because she is the newest one. There she is. Worm Knight. This is, I think, her one of her. No, I was trying to think if it's the defensive Taba card that you can get early on from. Is it defensive? No, I'm probably thinking of the Asuka one. But this is Worm Knight. We're gonna be fighting her on August 20th. That's gonna be fucking fun. I wonder what she's gonna bring to the table. It makes me wonder, like, are we going to get this outfit? It's like. It's more or less just her regular outfit, but with more tearing and stuff like that. She obviously has like the night tattoos and everything like that, but I don't think it. Who knows? It's like maybe they'll make it like 100,000 VR coins for you to get, or it'll just be something like. No VR. No, they're giving out one out. They're giving an outfit out right now. For the for Lydia, they'll make you they'll wring out some money in order to get this. But she is a virtual enemy made in Gosha Simulation Room. Reconstructed from the Hell Knight Stories and Tales, partial battle data was used from Nomad's executive officer. Oh, partial battle data from Nomad's executive officer was also input. Ooh, I wonder who that is. Using a sword that burns enemies with black flames when slashed with a long sword, the knight awakens with the power of the worm from old legends in desperate situations. Due to positive reactions from the Taimanins who trained with it, it will be made into a new Time of 5 VR boss with some tweaks. And it's a memo from Gosha Simulation Team. They need to rework the VR point game. How about they rework the defense again so everybody can get to 100? That would be great. Because I've been climbing this week again because it's Kanaloa, because it's really, and Kanaloa is really easy. Oh, that's right. The next week's the new boss. It's not going to loop back around into Mass Taimanin, where it's really easy to farm her too. Who knows? Maybe this new boss will be easy to farm too. All right, let's see. Francis now has to fight against enemy speed increase and that damage boost. So we need human boosters. We don't need Hebiko. She doesn't do much for us here. Oh, that's right. We put Hebiko on the front door because of that disgusting buff we gotta face against. I want to see how that'll turn out. How about increase the limit from 10,000 coins to 5,000 as a start? It already takes so many runs. Like if you play Classic 31, I think it takes, what, that's 500. If you get 10 perfect runs in a row where you get both coin drops, that's 10 runs. That will be 20 a day. The point cap can increase, but they also need to have the acquisition rate be a lot better. Because, man, like, in order to get anything that's like doable in a certain amount of time, you have to head up into like the 70s to 90s. So you can accomplish, if you made it 10,000 points, you need it to be like, what is it? Instead of, you effectively need to make it 5,000 coins. You need to make it 1,000 coins a mission to do it in 10 runs. Because be honest, do you guys really want to do, let's see, at 31, that's 500 coins, correct rolls. So 10 runs a day. Do you want to do 20 runs at 31 to do that, to get the coin cap for the day? I will tell you this much. I already don't want to do 10. I don't want to do 20. Let's amp the point. Let's amp up the coins. Shittiest treadmill ever. You want to change your clothes. Francis, let's get something out for you. Let's get age restricted. Let's get out the good stuff. We don't have the Fuma Aki costume. Let's get that. Where did I color it? Did I color it anything? I got it in purple. Yes. Let's get age restricted. They'll make Ingrid's costume like 100,000 VR coins. So it'd take 20 days of just straight VR. Perfect. Oh, just out of it. And that's why you bring Hebiko, so you don't get that god-awful 90% damage, 90% damage defense boost. What a nightmare. Good lord, we saw how much Tokiko struggled against that. Does that really not give a defense buff? I want to actually check that. Yeah, you don't actually get a defense boost from this. It kind of really needs that. Man, that sucks. No, that's even worse. Because Tipsy actually gives defense, and then you lose it completely with Intoxicate. No wonder she takes so much damage during it. She doesn't have a defense boost. Like, you get this damage, you get this speed, you get super armor, and you automatically attack. Where's the defense boost so she doesn't get totally killed? Well, that sucks. And the thing is, too, you can't even use, like, sweep tickets for VR. You have to play it. There's, like, no way around it. You don't need that, Miyazaki. Splattered her. Well there, Darthnia, we just finished up the bonus stages. Now we gotta get to the meat of things and go beat up some missions. Thank goodness we're on the times 15 runs today. Boy, that never feels good when I get what you called? What is that debuff called? Oh, she got hit by the bad stuff. Bad stuff working. Are there any nuker type supporters in blue? That's it. Getting Intoxicate off in during a wave transition always feels so bad. It's like, god damn it. Did it have to happen right there? I waste so much of it in the first place. Francis is just okay at best. She's good for low-end content like doing your dailies, the hard missions for events, and like tower stuff. If you take her to VR, it's gonna be a really rough time because she can't use any of her criticals, and she's just like mediocre at best. Like I said it in the video before, that like she just plays like a year 1 character. No, like a year 2 character, and we're about to hit the 5th year of the game. 5th year cumulatively, not 5th year like anniversary. Which kind of sucks. Like we were playing with Tokiko earlier, and she reminded me of her a lot because they have like weird skills, a buff that's like can be good but also like cumbersome to use, but Tokiko's is better in the first place. And it's like, man, girl, why you gotta be so extra for, man? Come on. Ah, there we go, Kiara. That does 900% in the speed reduction. Francis is very pretty. I like her costumes a lot. I just wish she was mechanically better. Because it's a character I like and it's not good. Is this how Tokiko players feel? Their character was like reduced to fucking shit as soon as she released. And now I get a character that I actually like and is like not that great. Or at least it's not as good as I wanted her to be. This is how Tokiko players feel. Forgotten, lost, and most importantly, ill-served. Oh no, Darth Neo, you're gonna feel the... I understand the Tokiko plight now. You wish every time that they were just a little better. They need some help somewhere. Tokiko also had the wonderful aspect about her of being like a character that was released really early on, so she didn't have to worry about the pool of items getting so diluted that she can't actually pull from her own weapons. You know, smash them spiders, girl. Yeah, earlier, you missed it, Darth. Yeah, we actually used Tokiko to take out one of the bonus stages. She does a very good job at hard content because she's made to just effectively make the boss unable to do anything. It's either like, or that would be so insanely debuffed they can't hurt her. Very good at that. But it certainly takes... It certainly takes a whole lot of investment that can go to other characters. At the end of the day, if she gets your shit off the ground and works for you, that's honestly what matters. People will get Francis at the end of the day. They will enjoy her for the most part, and they will have fun with her. Oh. God, that shit scares me sometimes, 'cause I forget that it's like Intoxicate is a buff, and I think like my controller's not working or something. I'm getting tired of Minasaki laughing. This is like that the Nagi event where we just hear them laughing. No, she is the boss of the event, so she's the one that has like the introduction screen all the time. So you hear her taunt you. It makes you want to turn off the game right then and there. Something that's like it doesn't get mentioned enough is that Yukikaze and Asagi have they are day one characters from like the game's initial release and have had barely anything about their skill sets changed besides like a few updates to attack animations and stuff. They are still some of the most solid characters in the game. You can take them to all content and like you'll never be worried about them. They're just really good. Yukikaze especially, like she's better, she plays better because she's a ranged character, but it doesn't have to worry about anything. Asagi, you have to play smart and more technical, but it's like they live so good. They eat well. My girl Asagi eats so well. I know I'll probably end up clearing the new Ingrid event with Asagi for the first time. But yes, High School DxD managed to get themselves a collaboration with RPGX. Which is pretty nuts to think about. I think that's actually, honestly, that's great. That is a series that has been forgotten to time, to say the least. Because what, they were, there's that new Queensblade gacha. There was that new Queensblade gacha that had come out like a year or two ago. And they, since it was like DxD, it's the company that owns DxD also owns Queensblade. But then the gacha for that flopped like a fish. And that is just forgotten again. Which is... And I think also the original artist for, what do you call it, for DxD eventually left the project. So it's just an indefinite hiatus and it's effectively dead in the water. Been that way for almost 10 years, I think. Just have to think about though, 10 years ago, what were you doing 10 years ago? Are you still doing the same things now? Well, I know, because...
Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, the VA voices are only for the safe for work version. That's such a very specific thing. Do they get fucked or anything like that? I don't know. I'd like to believe it, but DxD is a inherently safe for work franchise. Safer, at least. But I'm sure everybody would like to have the collaboration with Triage X, because that is the series the artist for DxD went to, and that is certainly much more of an adult series. Neither of them are very good, though. Split. You look at them for the pretty women. That's effectively what both of these are.
Oh, Jesus. Go.
Oh! Waste. And this is how you repay me? The scenes are fan service friendly, not 18 plus. Well, I guess I'm glad. Well, honestly, that's never been such a perfect collaboration, because like the main age base for like people who enjoy Taimanin is probably in like their late 20s to 30s, and they would most likely remember High School DxD. Same thing with the Black Lagoon collab they did. More the same. Though Action Taimanin does really push the average age down for this series. You little bitch, I have had it up to here with your laughing. Nuker. Honestly, would you rather them not have collaborations at all? It's always the worst thing, Jeff, about getting like figures from like the past. Like I remember years and years ago when Fire Emblem Awakening came out, I had a chance to buy the limited edition Tharja figure that everybody loves. And and I missed the opportunity to do, and I just like skipped the opportunity to do so. And that's like one of the most valuable like, Fire Emblem figures like ever made. I think it's still, even out of box, it still retails for $400. Absolutely nuts. So from Fates, I have the Camilla statue. That was like $130, and much like the Tharja statue, it still fetches an extremely high price. Yeah, pretty sure the word collaboration is the antithesis in Action Taimanin. Well, I don't know. They're weird about that. They call them... I wouldn't call the... they call the Ambrose event a collaboration, when in reality, it's a crossover. Because it's same universe... Well, it's same universe, different characters. How many do we have? Seems like a pretty good amount. 13. Alright, we need another 7,000. Let's change your stuff. What do we want to do for red? Oh, we'll do this. It's an inherently poor skill. Heart catch is sick though. Like, ooh. That's a good skill. That is great in like every other situation but like fighting hard enemies. Like you just come in there, suck everybody up, and kablam. Give them the yes man kablam. Thank you, man. That's so good. Oh no, you need semen render. I actually don't want that. There we go. Flame flick. Now we need raging shooten. Raging shooten, please. See you later there, Darth Neo. Grimry will never ever come out and say that they got greedy. Nope, they got a save face the entire way, and they obviously they cannot go back on the whole fact that they that what's her face, that Anne Rose is a paid character, because there'd be like, what is it, the gacha laws situation in like 2 countries where if you make a character paid for, they have to stay paid. They can't make them inherently free. Because it's like some sort of antitrust laws or something like that. I am not sure. Because you were talking about Anne Rose, we're going to use Anne Rose. Yes, that's a similar situation with a lot of things. When the power creep gets a little too much, yeah, it's everybody takes a hike. That's not what I expected. It's a very important history lesson for regarding the game, because that choice Took out a lot of faith people had for the game. It really did. There are people still to this day who won't touch it because they made Anne Rose paid for it. They made her paid content like that. It hurt a lot of goodwill the game had starting off. The game was very strong at that point. It still is. It has regained strength, but Anne Rose still is like the dark mark on there. I'm sure somebody one day will be like, the history of Action Taimanin or something, and then they'll get like Chapter 5, the Anne Rose incident, and it'll be like this big dramatic thing. And in reality, it's still really stupid. No, I want to change the skill. We don't actually need shooting. We need Oni, which is actually not good for this situation.
フランシスファミリーのドン。フランシスとは私のことだ。
Okay, everybody, here's a pretty good question for you. What did you like about Naruto besides the women? Because, being a younger man, when I was watching the series on, like, when it would premiere on TV, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It didn't really wow me or anything like that. The pretty ladies did, obviously, but it's like, the series didn't have much going on besides, like, what is it called? The show itself is like it's a long story. So if you miss any of the episodes, you're kind of lost. So it's like that kind of what turned me off in the first place, and I never bothered to keep up. It's honestly like, I don't like having to sit there and watch the show the entire time. It's like, that's typically why I don't like trying to keep up with like ongoing manga series or something, because it doesn't feel like, it's like I don't know when it's gonna end. I don't know when it's gonna do anything like that. It's like I don't exactly like dropping series in the middle of them because I want to know what happens. And then you have something like Naruto where it's like, alright, well, there you go. That's the series. It's getting power cut to hell, and you have like 11 years of stuff you have to go back to. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna read it. We got Raptor over there pulling out the sexy jutsu. He's got the porn necklace at school. He's like, dude, I laminated a picture of sexy jutsu. Fuck yeah. That's where it's
フランシ
at.
スファミリー
It's like, oh my god. Like, as a kid, thinking like, you know, oh, the anime series would be over. It's like when they do that. Then when you're an adult and you understand, like, oh, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna get out. They're not gonna. That's a horrible twisted maneuver to take out one of the most successful aspects of a franchise. Like, they're not gonna do that. Francis, do it. Oh, a perfect example of that sort of stuff is like Bleach. I know there is like, they have filler arcs and everything like that, but it's like, I am not watching that shit. Thankfully it's like over for the most part, so you can just sit there and read it. No, it is actually finished, so you can actually sit there and read it, which is like, that is fantastic. I cannot stand having to sit there and just like have to sit through filler and stuff like that. Especially if you're watching that on like a weekly basis. Like whenever I get shit like that, it feels like I wasted my time. An activity like that is inherently wasting your time, so to speak, but I don't want to feel that way, you know? Like, there you go, Rap, you make an important point. It's like, I'm not gonna watch over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. There's no reason to do that. Because most of it is just like on the same level of like Frieza's 5 minutes, and it takes 7 episodes to get through it. Like, I actually sat down and read One Piece, I think like 4 years ago at this point. It took me like 1 month to get all the way caught up. It's a really good read. Like I really enjoyed sitting there just like reading it and everything like that, because like you can clear volumes in like in a day, when it would take like almost 5 or 6 times as much time to just get through like a watching the episodes. Power creep slowly getting into a setting really, well, in Shonen it really just like drags everything out, because they have to balance the fact between the publishers want to make money and a story has to be told, but also grounded stories typically don't sell very well in Shonen Jump. Usually if you start having a more grounded or outlandish story, or at least it has some sort of like realism aspects, it starts to lean into seinen, which obviously has no place in Shonen Jump. It's meant to appeal to like young boys and teenagers. So they want to see all the power scaling all the time and everything. And if it's not there, then it certainly makes it a pretty damn difficult to like make a sale, which is what happens to usually series they get axed from Shonen Jump or something. Like, it's a weird thing to say, but it's like it's something as like you grow older over as time goes on. Like you start off with shonen series, then you get into more serious topic type of stuff. Shonen is still fine and everything like that, but it's a good place. It's a place to start. Because then you get into like this power level nonsense, and you turn into like one of those Disney adults who are arguing about that sort of stuff. I'm like, really? It's like it's like the same thing with like the Fate series. How it's just like after a certain point it just becomes like power level stuff. While it is very cool to look at and read, it's just like, man, it wears on you, because like after you start seeing it so much, it's like you start predicting it and then it becomes right, and you don't like that. What do they call it? They call it that's it. It's called getting jaded, which you should avoid. That's a very bad thing to start happening to yourself, because then you stop enjoying things. Cool. Cool, first pull. No, I don't want to reset it. I want the free materials. A long time ago, when the first Digimon movies came out, I remember thinking it's like they're 4 individual stories mixed together, or at least like it's like 2 like long episodes or something like that put back to back, which I remembered for some reason. And then it's like when that happens, it's oh yeah, the Digimon movie itself, I remember the soundtrack being like really weird, because it's like in the Japanese version it has like this its original soundtrack and everything, but in the US version they use like all this like ska and licensed music, and I'm like, somebody on like the sound team for that really enjoyed that type of music, because it's really cool. Like listening to the soundtrack itself is actually really fun. It's a perfect like summer type of movie too. Which leads me into another thing. I think like the artist or like the people who worked on Digimon or something went on to work on this other movie called Summer Wars. That was actually really cool for the most part. I liked that. I remember watching that. I'm like, this is cool. I like it when they do the digital world aspect, and they make the internet feel so much like truly an otherworldly place. Like, I don't want Sword Art Online, where it just feels like a high fantasy manga put into a computer world. Like, I want it to take place in the internet, but I don't want it to get meta. Like, oh my god, we're fighting computer viruses. Windows? Oh no, sorry, that's a Mac. Cell phones? No way. Something like that. I don't usually care for that. Let's see. Oh yeah. We're getting the new VR boss next week, and also Murasaki is getting her what is it called? Murasaki is getting her first limited package, and I think in like almost 3 years, because she has the ADW package that she's been using for the longest time, and now she's gonna actually get we're gonna have a weapon event, the costume package, and she's gonna have a new limited supporter that actually benefits her strongest build too, which is green. I'm honestly impressed. It's like they know that critical builds struggle so very much in VR, so they're going to so they make a supporter and they make a weapon to have one of the game's strongest characters actually be a contender inside VR. Murasaki does actually have a home in VR as like insane slowdown and lockdown support. However, she can't take her best weapon, which is Haoya, and use it effectively. Like the fact that alone that they buffed Tentacle Mine is insane to think about. It now, what is it? It does damage. It does damage to all enemies on activation, and then it also increases, I think it's what, critical rate or critical strength. No, it's critical rate, because why not? It increases critical rate, and it scales by how many enemies were caught in it. I'm like, how much more stronger could you do this? Can you just win the quest at this point? It is insane to think about. I guess there's somebody who I know I've said this before, but it's so true. Somebody on the development team absolutely loves Murasaki, because every time Murasaki gets something, it's really, really strong. Even Murasaki's renewal weapon, which only affected her red build, actually makes her red build extremely useful, because it takes away some of the caveats that it has, from what I remember. And it just makes, or just flat out makes it like a total annihilation machine. She now actually has something for every color, because AEW Annihilator is specifically for blue spins. She has her renewal weapon for red, and now she will finally have the one for Tentacle Anchor. No, it's Tentacle Mine. Anchor's the double dash. That is insane to think about. And the best part is, they're going to be giving away this weapon. Like, they get 3 copies for free. Then you have to buy the 4th copy with the package. And you have to use Demonite for the, what's it called? For the final level. Oh, this is just too perfect, though. It's like we have Lydia over here with like, alright, now you get 32% more damage if you're a human or a machine type character. Well, I mean, they effectively did reboot it with Triage X. Though it's just mostly focused on like two characters and some side stuff. But they're more explicitly sexual. This will certainly be a supporter to put enchants behind. Because you can put this on, what is it? You can put good old Asuka. You got, actually this is perfect for Emily. Because you can actually now make, no, there's no machine boost damage in red. So now you can't do that one yet. But she has something for blue, she has something for green, she has something for red. She can run her perfect set together.
お呼びみたいね。
We need the professional ass whoopers. There we go. Sasawashi Ichika. Yeah, baby.
まだ準備中？
Also, there's something really cool about the, like, another unsung hero of the update that brought Francis to us was that they managed to they gave 42 new supporter formations, so it pays to collect. Nice. Oh, okay, that's honestly kind of different. I didn't expect that. Oh, that's right. I don't have Tentacle Mine equipped because it's not worth taking in VR right now. Or at least when you play human mode. God, to think this skill will do 250% skill damage and also give her critical boost. This is like, it has everything. Everything. Come on, Mu-chan. Show him who's boss. There it is, Demolisher. Alright, we'll go farm a little bit more so we can get Lydia's intimacy scene done. There are lots of women that are bigger than Hitomi. They kind of look better too. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. I don't know who, Raptor. You also just proved it to me that there are more out there. And I know there's others out there too. I don't actually spend a lot of time looking at that sort of stuff. There's just something so satisfying about being able to fully commit an entire attack and get the whole string off. Like, all Murasaki has to do is just look at the enemy, and if you've stacked as much criticals as you should have in the first place, and she just looks at the enemy, deletes them, and can continue to move forward. I don't have to mess around with skills. I just go. She actually makes your strength feel, like you've earned something. Like, you got her to this point. She's gone from being a slow, tanky character that deals no damage to a character that's absolutely just annihilating everything at the drop of a hat. It feels good. It doesn't feel disappointingly slow with a caveat behind her, a debuff that doesn't make sense. Why they gotta make everybody else so cumbersome? Why did they have to make Francis that way? Oh, the pain. Well, both Asuka from Taimanin and Asuka from Senrin's, both are wind users. I mean, honestly, who isn't a wind user in the Taimanin lore anyways? I think more or less it just like, you say you just respect the speed. It's a long or short of it. Both of the girls are inherently inexperienced and need to learn a lot more. Though, I guess maybe Asuka's headstrong attitude or I guess Robot Asuka's headstrong attitude might get her into more trouble than she actually should be in. I couldn't really decide a winner between the two. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Oh, that's right. Murasaki deals a whole ton of critical hits all the time. It's something I forget. Because it's like... It reminds me... It makes me very sad that VR nerfed crits so much that they're effectively useless. Why would you nullify a concept like critical hitting at all things? I guess too many people were progressing too fast. They want you to ride on the treadmill a little longer. Just a little bit longer. Excellent. No, I need to go to collections. Go to supporters. What does this one do? Oh, where's the limited Spinel supporter? Oh, I have that. That's the actually good one. What did Francis do again? That's right. She gives penetration to suppress enemies, and she actually needs penetration so she can hit as hard as she can, and she can't disarm enemies, which, okay. 8-second disarm, though, is actually kind of great, but you need to be able to keep it up in the first place. It's a 10% chance, and she doesn't attack that fast. Damn. Francis? Francis, what you doing, girl? Ching. Alright, let's go over to Miss Lydia supporter here. Let's see, she's a student Taimanin belonging to the UFS, and her father is European and a member of the UFS, and her mom is Japanese. Wow. She awakened her Taimanin powers, but rather than going to Gosha, she trains at the UFS. She currently supports the task force under orders from the higher-ups. She has a dominant personality, confident and very proud. Perhaps of this, she's a bit of a nuisance to people around her. But she's a very hard worker, and those who know her trust her accordingly. Her ninja art is... okay. Her ninja art is magnets, allows her to control surrounding metals by generating fields. Because of this ability, she is unable to use her phone, radio, or other communication devices for missions. So to suppress her ability, she wears a suppressor on her head when not on active duty. Oh, that's it right there. Cool. She was sent on vacation with the other UFS members to Amahara, but got caught up in an incident and ended up in Gosha. Womp womp. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Where the heck? I know she was talking about that at some point, but it's like, my goodness, she got them bazonkas stuck. Colonel. Stuck in a vent. They can hear the clap of my fat titties. Okay, let's see what her enemy episode is. A white sandy beach and an emerald green sea. The beautiful contrast of these two colors shines in Amahara, a southern tropical resort destination in Japan. Lydia, who was on vacation that Gosha had organized, was at the corner of a beach secretly meeting a woman. Miss Lydia. Oh yes, by all means, we both harbor different thoughts. Oh my, people will misunderstand. No one has ever told me that I was sly before. On mumbling, Furfur, the demon Lydia was with, who cooperated with Gosha's task force, left the area. Keep it between us, huh? The secret mission. Oh, it's Emily! Why did you bring this up to me? I'm working here. She's a working girl. Oh, don't be so mean. We're on the same team, you know. I mean, you've been on some sort of spy mission. Plus, you didn't have to bring this up during your vacation, you know. All you gotta do is back me up, bud. And this fruit that we're after, it's also a mission about its distribution route. I knew that. The deal Lydia and Furfur had made was of a dangerous fruit that the UFS had been tracking for a long time. One bite will give you a burst of flavor and a taste of extreme pleasure, but it's as addictive as any illegal drug. This forbidden fruit once caused many addicts to appear. Oh man, we're going on an ayahuasca trip. Nice. The seed of the fruit was brought up to the surface by Nomad and was being cultivated on a farm. Finally, yesterday the UFS found an area in Amahara that's suspected to be the production of this fruit. Lydia was tasked with a top-secret investigation into the production of the fruit. The one who sniffed it out was none other than Furfur herself. Are you saying that she was investigating this fruit on her own? I think so. She said that she investigated ahead of me. The informant of Amahara, directly helping the UFS? I'm guessing she's going to sell the information about the location to several higher-ups at a reasonable price. She knows Amahara inside out. Going into hiding is her specialty. Knowing her, with anything that involves money, she won't break a promise. I'm part of the task force, but I won't risk roaming freely in Japan. It's best if this task can be given to someone else. So what did she ask? To investigate that rundown place. What Lydia pointed with her finger was a seafood processing facility on the verge of collapse. A building no different from a ruin, which would have been used as the office of the collapsing facility. Is what it should have been, but now it's completely changed. Number five, whoever the three yakisobas, come and get him. Excuse me, line up a bit closer, choose your shaved ice from the menu, please. This is the Japanese beach house? The building with its vibrant colored sign was open as a seasonal beach house. No, I can't take it anymore. The sweet scent of this fruit juice. This is what Japan's summer is like. Yeah, this is what Lady Furfur requested. The scent. That's right, the mysteriously delightful scent in this beach house. Cracking it down is my current mission. It's been 10 minutes since infiltration. Report. Over. This is Agent Beretta, located large pipe after infiltrating the facility, proceeding through the vents to the location in need of investigation. Furfur knows Amahara from the inside and out. She requested Lydia to investigate the mysterious beach house. It opened one summer and was already becoming famous for its surprisingly delicious menus. When it opened as soon as the beach was, people flooded the beach house regardless of whether it operated with a permit or not, and disappeared after closing shop with the trace before late summer. After hearing the worries of the locals, Furfur suspected the fruit came into play and requested Lydia to investigate. Could they have been using the fruit and selling it as food or condiments? To look for answers to this question is why Lydia was trying to infiltrate the area. Unless there have been changes to the blueprint, I'll be approaching the section that appears to be the kitchen. I'll be on the lookout. Miss Lydia, are you sure everything is going as planned? There we go, now she's stuck. Oh, it's stuffy. It's cramped. I can't even wipe off my sweat. And worst of all, the delightful scent of the sauce. It's driving me crazy. Retreat for now. How about wearing a gas mask? No. With the place operating irregularly, there's a possibility that it would close any minute. I have to find a trail before any evidence is rid of. No, wait, no. You're joking, right? Agent Beretta, an unexpected situation has arisen. Requesting assistance. What's the matter? Did you get in a fight with the enemy? I can't move. I think I'm stuck. Stuck in the vents. Agent Beretta, abort the mission and fall back. Do whatever you can to leave. You gotta use your sweat. You gotta move those titties around. Suck in that gut. It's no use. I can't move. My boobs and butt are stuck. Did you not consider the size of your body before entering the vents? Emily, I know you couldn't do that mission. You're bigger than her. I underestimated myself. A top UFS agent like me getting held back for this. Oh no, she's turning into a wall butt. There's definitely something in the sauce. I'm sure of it. You're saying the scent of the yakisoba sauce led you into the vents? Yes. By God, that yakisoba sauce was sus. And Lydia had to vent. This is something, alright. If it weren't for a trained person like me, they would have immediately lost their minds. Should I request for backup? The force's members should still be at the beach right now. Never. I can't show anybody the state that I'm in. Nobody but you. But Emily, did you forget my powers? I can just use my magnet art. Lydia tries to release the limiter to freely use her magnet art. Oh no. Fucking magnets, how do they work? But in such a tight space, not even that worked properly, as it was difficult to release the limiter. Oh, it's brute force then. You can't do that. Miss Lydia! A sheet or two of stainless steel like this. It was when Lydia was losing her patience and becoming angry. The vents of the worn-down facility were weak like rotten plywood. Lydia came crashing down with the remnants of the vents. Ah, this is... She dropped into the kitchen, and thanks to the debris, it became a mess, but there was nothing sus about the place. Next to Lydia, who took a hard fall on the floor, was the shopkeeper, shocked and staring at her sudden appearance. Oh man, pretty women falling from the sky. Yes, please. Sylvia? What? Zam? Okay. What's going on? I've seen you in Gosha's archive. Sylvia Rosemary, how did the daughter of one of the most prominent aristocrats in the demon realm end up here? Are you blind or what? I'm fucking working. Why? To make a living. Looks like you've had some rough times. Are you the manager? You think? I was the only one who got hired, so it was a busy day for me, and then you decide to show up? Now I gotta clean this up after you. I've worked at the beach house before, but I can't keep doing lowly chores like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help you with cleaning up or anything. So you just tell me one thing? So just tell me one thing. The fruit? What do you know about it? And where did you guys get it? Oh, the good-for-nothing condiment that is so delicious that it only increases my workload? Sylvia's fixed gaze on rows of bottles filled with colorful liquids that look dangerous. organic monkey wine style fruit sauce, is what the label says. Oh, I need to investigate that. I need to do it as smoothly as possible. Lydia was about to threaten her when the comm began to ring. Miss Lydia, it's me. I'm in a bit of a rush right now. If it's not urgent, you gotta call me later. About the fruit, I managed to locate its source. Are you okay? Are you hurt? It originates from the demon realm. It's a Zakum fruit, which had different characteristics from a plant from the demon realm. But all the fruit had inside was alcohol. Alcohol, meaning the reliance to the fruit and its symptoms of addiction was just being drunk from drinking so much of the alcohol. It seems like Furfa herself was affected by it in the first place. So it's not even a poison or drug, you just get drunk? I heard that fruits sometimes ferment and naturally become alcoholic in the human world. So the UFS are worried for nothing? Yes, the condiments too. The alcohol would have evaporated during the processing procedure. Also, the group that was providing the beach house with this fruit, they seem to have given up running anything. Then this person in front of me was doing work for nothing? Yes, please tell the shopkeeper that. Now that's easy for you to say. You're done talking? If it's okay with you, I'd like to start right now. Should we clean first? Oh, I'll help, of course, please. There's also cooking and serving. There's a long queue of customers. You better hurry up. We got 5 orders up there, bitch. Lydia struggles under the pressure of Sylvia, who's efficiently directing the scene. Thinking of the pile of chores that were to come, Lydia lets out the deepest sigh of her lifetime. Let them saggers hang, baby, because you're going to be working hard, you're working girl. That was fun. Alright. And for the last bit, we will go... Oh, we need 25 gems. Oh, wait. Let's go to collections. Foxy Grandma. Alright. Let's go to VR. Oh, that's right. We're all the way at the end. The plot and the cake were so overpowering, she had to use them to break down a whole vent system. Alright. Kanaloa versus... I want to get to 100 today. I want to get... No, I'll just do that some other time. We'll go to 31. The Classic Farm. Let's unequip all of Ingrid's gear. Don't worry, Ingrid. We'll be back. So let's get a character. Let's get out good old Francis. How close are we actually? 55%. Zam. Wow, that's just enough to do it. We'll save that for some other time. Demon, demon. There we go. Alright, I won't need this. Sorry, Andy. We have to use somebody else at this moment because god damn it, they just do awful, awful things. Actually, this is perfect. We will get New Year's Shiranui because of that. Alright, let's show her off in a very dangerous situation. Because she certainly can do damage. Cool, skills down's perfect. Oh no, that's gonna be really loud. That's all she does is just sit there and take damage. Did a cool 16 million, that's for sure. Comparable over there to Astaroth. This isn't exactly like the best way to show her off either, because whenever you have like missions where you have multiple enemies at once, it just shows off the fact that she can just deal a lot of damage, a lot of small damage to other enemies, which is what Eleanor does too. But Eleanor does it better. Yeah, that's what. Look at that. That's the worst thing that can happen about it too. Great. She gets focused on one target until they die, and that target can't die because it's invincible and you can't change. That's great. That's one of the other caveats about the lock-on system. That did not help Francis at all. Oh, that's a good drop. That's great actually. Wow. Insane in the membrane right there. All right, maybe we do have to take Francis more often because she's actually able to give us Crystal Mirage. But this is a better way to show her off. Like Astaroth barely takes any damage, but she's like dealing so much in the first place for double donking meteors. Like she managed to mess up, like Francis managed to mess up her pulling off the intoxicate combo, which is really sad because she kind of needs to hit that to deal as much damage as possible. You can't actually change the way they lock on either. I want to try her specifically with blue now. Because with blue it has that suction effect, so you can actually go with grenade, which is fantastic. Wait, I think Astaroth doesn't even have her items equipped in the first place. Take that off of Ingrid. Yeah, Astaroth still deals that much damage and doesn't even have one of her core supporters equipped either. So I'll make Francis core DPS for this. Do I even get anything out of that? No, it's like... Alright, let's try that out. Well, the move is certainly really good for picking up a lot of enemies at once, but they have to be hit by that first explosion in order for it to work. See, there you go. She gets to do comparable damage to Astaroth because she hits like 7 enemies at once. Astaroth herself also inflates all of her numbers too because she has Serpent Blaze. Oh, that sucks. Well, there, Raptor, there's nothing much stopping you from making a fan game in the first place. The work is... it is certainly a lot. Very, very tiresome amount. Let's take it to a higher floor where actually things get really dangerous. Let's see, we have that. Spirit Slay doesn't do much for us. Not exactly the most fair comparison to make with her there. You can just stack damage like that, or get a favorable roll. She certainly likes when people can take the heat off of her in the first place, which is what makes her much more usable in this situation. Because she certainly can't instantly overwhelm her enemies or crit, so she's got to sit here and learn to live with that fact. There's also another thing about her is that she gets constantly hurt all the time, or gets interrupted from her Onigoroshi. Like, honestly, you would probably get more, I'd get more value out of someone like Lena for this. Of course. She takes a ton of damage right there at the last possible second. Oh my god, that's 2 today. Holy shit. Girl, she is insane in the membrane. Oh, protect, what is it? Assist and suppress down. That's actually really bad. So now I actually have a scenario worth testing. Oh, now she's meleeing me. That's great. Oh no, oh wow, I can't load in all those sound effects together. I'm not doing any damage now, that's great, that's not good. Oh, that's the... Oh, okay. Oh. We're gonna time out on this, I can already tell, because we're not dealing enough damage. Yeah, good old Francis right there has a unique death animation for getting just demolished during Intoxicate. Because I know Queen Kanaloa has that attack where she just sits there and like spouts out ink balls at the person who's ever in front of her. And that is so very perfect to what happened right there. Francis got shotgunned down because you can't control her at that point. And you just have to live with that fact. We're just gonna lose now because we can't deal enough damage. It's like the worst possible roll you could ever get for these type of missions. Which is racial down and then skill down. It's like, ooh, that's rough. Then we got good old Astaroth over there just plinking away for thousands and thousands of damage. It took a couple shots for her to actually get pretty, you know, hurt in the first place. Which I can appreciate, but I also don't want her to die. That's where this thing comes in. How many do we have left for the day? We're not going to take it at 94. Let's try 60 again. Maybe we can get a favorable roll. Not the best, but it doesn't decrease her. That is why I love that attack so much. She gets out of the way. It's so good. It's so very important here. Oh, she's using that one shot. It's great. Oh, that sucks. Now she's still melee immune. I need to wait out the bleed because I have to conserve her health. This is like the perfect... Good. Nice. She got hurt somewhere. Where did that come from? Because she did not... She had like 25 or something like that health. I'm like, wow. Where did that come, Francis? She is so rough to use in like situations like this. Like, I want to heal, but then you have like Kanaloa's aggressiveness that comes over there, and the tentacle whips all the way around. That or you get hit by like the further you progress along with Kanaloa, her little jellyfish friends get really aggressive. Like there's one, the red one will leave like a 10-second stun, which is a death sentence for the most part. One of them gives lightning. Another one leaves a pool on the ground that's great for extreme dodges, but absolutely horrible to get caught in because it can apply the attack down debuff if it's there, or bleed. And, oh. Sad state of affairs for our little girl here. She cleared 60 though. Like she can, like if you really know, like sit there and pilot her pretty well, she can do an okay job. But it's like, man, I want to use her finisher because it's the only healing she has. And like we proved here today that she's able to just combat bleeding and heal every once in a while. But if she gets targeted or something and she gets smacked during it, like there's many times during this where we just got like interrupted during one of the animations and it's like she can't complete it and the stack doesn't increase, or she's totally covered up by stuff and you have to remember what position the animation is in so you can get the proc off without having to look. It's not exactly like the best situation to be in, but it doesn't make her fun to play. She just makes it very annoying to like do something as simple as regular farm. To use a character I don't regularly use in the first place, like... There she is. Perfect timing too, we got her in the summer costume. Let's go use Rin. Oh wait, no, Nagi has all the equipment still on her. Because Nagi's a good girl and knows what to fucking do. Because Nagi is absolutely fucking cracked. And knows how to just fold anything that comes her way because she's a good character. Like I would use Nagi here to show off like what happens, but Rin is like... I've been thinking about her a lot lately because you have like a conceptually perfect character like Rin or what's her name again? Nagi. You have a conceptually perfect character like that who's able to just absolutely annihilate anything that gets in their way with limited problems. Here we go, with this full suppress. Same colors, we'll do that. She's demons, can't use that. Boss boost. No, I can't use New Year Felicia. And that sucks. That's a good supporter. She's not a demon. No, she's using Fur. That's the bet. Like, it's such a really great idea for that too. Like, I have my problems with Rin, but they took a character absolutely nobody cared about except for like the 2 or 3 scenes she had, and they made her like incredible. People actually care about her now. She gets new stuff, and they made her just like an incredible experience to play and a top seller every single time. They did not ride that momentum, which is very sad, because this is a character who is like, she has moved mountains for this game with her mountains. Because my goodness, this lady is like, she's super pretty, she's insanely good, and there's like nothing, there's barely anything that she can't do. Now you can use stupid retarded meme shit like Blue Rin and just like win. Look at this, we were doing critical damage stuff like that. We got nothing should be here. Everybody uses Volt Whip because it's funny. Like, she has like one of the best buffs in the game, which negates range projectiles, and it's like how and she also has a defense down buff too. Like, this is, it's so good. She's just so good. They didn't have to make her that good, but my god, is she amazing. Let's give her some gear. Sometimes I wish I could like mark Magatama sets so I could just tell from a glance like which ones I have. I don't have to do this like hunt and peck for these. Like, come on. Like, for better or worse, she really does like push the game forward. She's still like my favorite definition for power creep of this game, because when she got in the game, there's like, boy did a lot of shit change. Cool, we can press down. Ranged immunity, you don't have to worry about that with Rin. I can honestly appreciate that she's so strong I don't have to worry about anything, because that made working on her videos so fun, because I just do anything I want and I'll win. I did not have to worry a single thing about that because I knew Rin would be able to clear it. No problem. She just feels so much better to play than like most other characters in the game. They got it so right that one time. She barely did any damage. Wow, she actually took a lot of damage in that one. Like, of course, Astaroth still remains, like, the peak of the mountain. Because, obviously, she just hits from back from the middle of nowhere and just, like, nukes your ass from, like, Pakistan. And you got Rin over here, the best crowd control thing ever since sliced bread. Like, watch this. We'll go to a different color, and most likely we're still going to clear. Like, we'll get all these, like, we'll get all the hard hitters. There we go. Unupgraded Stella. If we could crit, that would be nice. Because sometimes it actually just feels really good to use characters that are super competent. Because, like, I've been sitting here all day just, like, using, Francis, and it's like, I just wish she was so much better. Like, it's like regular things that you should be able to do normally, like with other characters such as Asagi, especially Rin. And it's like, ah, girl, why you gotta be that way? New debuff boosted. Actually, perfect. Volt spins for stun. We don't. No, that's just for spammables. We need Volt Whip. Yes. Banky Danky. Where's Volt Rush? There we go. They're both melee. No, I don't actually have mixed damage. But the fact you can actually have mixed damage on her is just like... Why do they have to be so rude to her? Will we be getting a waifu war coming this October? God, I hope so. I love it when they do competition aspects in these games. Because we need another one on the same level as good old, well, no, we had, Ann Rose versus Butler Asagi. That was cool. But I want something on the lines of, like, I wonder who it would be for, because earlier in the Discord we were talking about how they had Spica is one of the things that are being shown, is one of the acrylics being shown at the event for, what's it called? Like Korean like games festival or something. So it's like, or it's that or Comic Cat. It's whatever, some sort of Korean event where they show off the items, and Spica got one, and like Inagi Natsu would obviously be a contender for sure. Fuma Amane versus Inagi. They're both relatively unknown, and well, not, I wouldn't say unknown. I'm just saying it's like Inagi is fresh in people's minds, and Amane we need something to remind of. This would be the perfect time to build up both of them, and then it culminates in the war itself in October. That would be great. Alright, Electric Mommy. Show them how it's done. Oh, fuck yeah. We're getting even with damage down. She just clears so good. Makes everything so much nicer. I mean, it's still like an Ingrid run for me. She took no damage because we're so smooth with her. They didn't even touch us. They didn't even touch us. We had all the buffs against us and we still managed to survive. Look at that. Cleanest runs you've ever seen. Oh, the knife and the gun Amane. Why do they get all the really cool ones like that? I want those in this game. Where's Knife and Gun Amane? We want her in there. Alright, we'll finish this off by going to 100 with Ingrid. Because whenever I push this far, I usually use Ingrid. If I can find my freaking Tamas. I want to end it on a more competent note. God, look at that. She has no supporters equipped and she's at 90,000 power. Girl is absolutely insane. Oh, she's insane. Ooh, unwelcome school. I think no, Ingrid Asagi's still stronger, but piercing evil, yeah. Let's go get him, girls. We got 5 floors left. Let's hope you roll a good one, because we're sitting there at 90. This is peak Ingrid gameplay. He's using Dark Flame on a massive crowd of enemies. We're barely at half. Nope, that's gonna be a 1-drop then. Which is sad to say, unless we can do it in that amount of time now. I shouldn't have used that heavy ko too early. When she still had melee down. Now she can't deal enough damage to do it. What a shame. Like, this is the one thing I don't like about like going this high anymore. It's just more of this. You hope for a good roll, and you hope for something that procs good. Has skills down, but it doesn't affect English. That's not good. I ain't doing shit for damage. We're already at the 1 minute mark and we can't even get down a half. I guess this is where penetration usually plays a bigger part. That's what I thought when I had enough damage for this. We're gonna time out. And there we have it. Yeah, she can do 50 million damage and it still doesn't do a damn thing for it. Alright. I am getting tired though. I gotta go get something to eat and then go get ready for work tomorrow. Thank you for coming by, everybody, and checking out Frances with us. She's pretty cool if you like playing, you know, on the beginning areas and up to the tower. She struggles a little bit, you know, on some harder content if she's not a real DPS machine, but hey, we just proved it by ourselves. Even with our big old DPS setups, we still can't beat it in time, at least. We can whittle them down, but we sure can't whittle them fast enough. Goodness. Thank you once again, everybody, for stopping by. I want you to like, comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. If you want to pick up Frances yourself, she releases for gems soon, or has already if you're watching this in the future. Once again, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.